So, why is it that in the released version of Banjo Pilot on the Game Boy Advance, you can hear this in the background? Monkey noises. This is the mystery that we're going to be investigating today. Hi, I'm Milo, and I hope you're having an awesome day. As for myself, I was in the hospital all night thanks to a family medical emergency, but don't worry, everybody's okay now. I'm just very tired and my brain not so good today, but hopefully the stream goes okay anyway. Yeah, just to prove to you, this is the final released version of Banjo Pilot that Rare made and THQ published. Yeah, and I am tired, and it's not because I got up to watch the Nintendo Direct, because I didn't. Okay, but I'm not going to be spending time too much on Banjo Pilot itself. What I'm going to be doing is playing the prototypes to show you how it led up to that point. And this includes different iterations of Banjo Pilot, especially early versions where it was actually a Donkey Kong game. Now, if you're a Rare diehard, you might know about this already. But here, I shouldn't forget to put the window up. I can see your chat, Gibbon, so that's good. It's working today. MGBA is my emulator of choice for today for the 2001 prototype of Diddy Kong Pilot, which was released by Rareware Central and is available in ELF format. I don't know what ELF is, but apparently some GBA emulators can play it. Some can't, so you might have to shop around. This is a really interesting prototype though, but we know of at least one before this one, which is available online. This is the debug menu that opens by default when the game launches. If you enter into any one of these and then exit from there, you get to a proper title screen. So we know that at Spaceworld 2000 or 2001, I found both instances online. A version of this game was shown off at Spaceworld as a Japanese gaming expo. It contained a story mode, which you can see here. King of Kongs, Back to the Light, and K. Rool's Gold. I can't do anything on the screen because it's a prototype and it crashes. So we're used to this kind of thing from my playing around on Dinosaur Planet earlier in this stream series. So what we do know is that K. Rool's story mode involves his search for the lost city of El Dorado, hence the name K. Rool's Gold. There's also a lot of GDs involved for some reason. And you can find the text of that online. There's a video captured from Spaceworld, but also a text dump, which is from this version of the game that is on the cutting room floor. The other interesting thing about that earlier version was the character selection. It was kind of a Mario and Donkey Kong crossover. It had Donkey Kong, Diddy, Dixie, Funky, Cranky, but also Mario, Peach, Toad, Yoshi, Wario, and Bowser. And all those characters had individualized planes. For example, Funky Kong was riding on his flying surfboard, and Yoshi was riding a cloud. In this version of the game, this is the character select screen, but it's a little bit bugged out. So as I cycle through them, you might be able to hear voice samples, which are misaligned with the characters that you're selecting, as well as the silhouette being misaligned. I'll talk about that in a minute, but yeah, Diddy makes a DK type sound, which sounds to be reused from his Rool in Donkey Kong 64. That sounds like a crunch noise to me, whereas that is probably K. Rool. That's a monkey noise, maybe Dixie. But yeah, there's a list on cutting room floor of which characters will send you to which actual character when you start the game. The other notable thing about this is the character selection. You've got Crunch from Diddy Kong Racing, along with a new version of King K. Rool that is also seen in the earlier prototype with an aviator style. This is going on with his theme of changing costumes in each game and personas, which is really fun. They gave him a new one for this game. Dixie's there with her rare hairpin. Cranky seems to have a new outfit, but Candy is here, which is nice. But at some point, they replaced Candy with this kind of country bumpkin style Kong. He never had an official name, but sources after the fact who worked on the game call him things like Redneck Kong or Crappy Kong. I like to go with Redneck Kong, even though it doesn't 100% fit the stereotype. But yeah, you can't select him to play as in the game or Candy because some of these are duplicate characters when you get to playing. But also when you try to play, not all the tracks work properly. So I have a list on Cutting Room Floor of tracks that do work. And I'll do them from this menu, and then we'll try and explore more from the debug menu. So from this menu, what we can do is go... Oh, I'll also show you some of the other modes that were here. Dogfights. This is also in Banjo Pilot, a 3D open arena. Wait, is that Princess Peach? Or is that Dixie? I'm seeing pink and a blonde flash of hair. Maybe that's Candy. See, trailing behind DK there? I think it's Candy. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why battles is different from dogfights. I don't know how many of these work in the game, but there's a lot of options in here that will just crash it. But going by, you can explore this yourself by going to Hidden Palace and downloading the prototype from there. The Cutting Room Floor also hosts the prototype. It was originally released on Rareware Central, but Rareware Central has become defunct since, so you can't get it from there, unfortunately, unless you go through the archive.org Wayback Machine. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through my notes to find which levels are possible. Okay, I've written it down somewhere else, so that's fine. This is just a sample of gameplay that plays if you wait too long on the title screen. So you can see conventions here borrowed from Diddy Kong Racing. This is quite a direct successor to Diddy Kong Racing, more so at various stages of development. So we've got balloons for item pickups, and the types of items you get from them are quite similar to Diddy Kong Racing's ones in this version of the prototype. They diverged a bit more in later prototypes. So I've got my list now. I can select... Oh gosh, yeah, it's all muddled up. I did have a list of that, but I can't find it right now. I'll just pick what I think is Dixie. Maybe this one. Okay, so in this version of the prototype... Oh, no, it's worlds. Okay, so Sleepy Shores is a beach world. Congo Kingdom is a jungle world. Western Wastes is... I don't know. Are these worlds or... I don't know. Okay, I know Sleepy Shores works. Okay, so Sleepy Shores is a world and there are races within it, beach races. We can look on the debug menu later for what the worlds are called internally. Oh, okay, I picked Cranky apparently. That's cool. That's fine. Okay, so there's no music during gameplay, but we do have voice lines. We'll hear more voice lines in the later... that's the magnet power-up that was just used on me returning from Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah, we'll hear more voice clips in the later prototype. There's a 2003 one that I'll be playing later as well. It's a lot more full-featured and more finished. So I've just picked up the egg item, which if I throw it... Oh, that was supposed to home in on an enemy. I don't know, whatever. The watermelon is like a mine you drop behind you. I don't know what that is. Anyway, as you can see, the gameplay style is pretty similar to what the final Banjo Pilot is, if you're familiar with that game. It's sort of Mode 7-esque graphics. Okay, the egg kind of spins around, but it gets dropped behind you. I also have a boost. So there's boosts, there's rockets. All this is pretty similar to Diddy Kong Racing. The egg and the watermelon are new, clearly. I don't know what the DK symbol does. I don't think it works in this prototype. What other items are there? I wrote it down. Peanuts. You can pick up peanuts, which work like the multi-missile in Diddy Kong Racing, and it's calling back to Diddy's peanut popcorns in Donkey Kong 64, I expect. So let's try and pick Dixie this time. I do have that list. I think it's here on this page. Yeah, it's right here. If I want Dixie, I should pick Critter, as it's called on this, although the voice doesn't match up. Oh yeah, there she is. So you can actually see them on that screen. So if I pick this, yeah, that's K-Rool in his little aviator getup. Very nice. If I pick Redneck, you can see it defaults to Diddy. And there's 2 instances of Cranky. We'll see more of that later too. So I think I'll just test this out. Picking that. Yeah, completely crashes the game. So don't go to that. We can go to more tracks in the debug menu, but a lot of them are placeholders with nothing really in them. I don't know what all the stars at the bottom of the screen are either. I think it's junk that was not really supposed to be there or whatever. Again, this is an early version of the game, very early, 2001. Not much work would have been done on it at this point, I guess, because it was in a lot more of a finished state in 2003. So by using the magnet there, I can zoom in on a character in front of me, just like in racing. So here's the pop gun peanuts. Poo poo poo. Oh, it's rapid fire. Okay, so that's how that works. Good to know. Yeah, I think we would have seen all the items now except for rockets, but I just assume they work similarly to Diddy Kong Racing. 10 just randomly get, yeah, there's upgraded versions, again similar to Diddy Kong Racing but not in the later version or in Banjo Pilot. Different tiers of weapons that you can upgrade, although they seem to just randomly give them to you here. Okay, so that's about all we can get out of the official menus here, but if I reset, we'll go back to that debug mode, and you can see the internal names here. Beach is the first world, lava, snow, keep, lake, farm, haunted, and jungle, and swamp. There's a lot of things in here. Desert. Yeah, okay, there's tons of different things, but a lot of these don't work properly. So I've got another list on the cutting room floor of tracks that are not placeholders. So for instance, let's check out, we've seen beach and snow environments. So we could see lava now, and the player, it corresponds to one of the characters. You just increment this. They don't know what blend does. But if we increment this, we can pick, say, K-Rool by going to 3 and pressing start, and then it just spawns us right in. So apparently this is a race. Oh, okay, this is still a placeholder. Okay, I must have misread that table, but you can sort of see the layout here. This layout is, I believe, carried through into even the final Banjo Pilot pretty closely. I don't know how to go back without resetting, so I'll just reset the emulation. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand this table, but I guess we'll check out each one of the environments. So we've seen beach, we've seen lava, we've seen snow, keep. And Diddy is player 1 apparently. So keep, most of the keep levels are these battle mode ones. So this is sort of the layout of one of the battle modes. Diddy Kong Racing had a battle mode as well, where you would capture eggs or attack enemies. This looks like it's similar to that. Sort of a free range thing. The objectives haven't been implemented yet though, but the environment here looks a bit like something that we saw in Diddy Kong Racing, the castles in Smokey the Dragon's world. Lake. I'll just increment the player each time I load up a new thing. Yeah, he's Crunch. Good to see him back. Okay, so this clearly hasn't been fully implemented. There's a lot of numbers written on the ground here in lieu of real environments. But we can see something over here, some unfinished graphics and some trees poking up. That's cool, but a nice background here, reminiscent of Donkey Kong Country 3 on the Game Boy Advance. Nice stuff. Okay, what else have we got? Farm. We haven't seen that yet. Player 4 is Dixie. Okay. So yeah, the farm. I think there's farm levels in Banjo Pilot. I don't remember. I should have. Yeah, I didn't revisit it as much as I should have. Oh, chickens. Oh, that's lovely. NPCs. Whoa. Okay. The game totally crashed. That's okay. You saw the chicken briefly. Hopefully OBS will recapture this when I launch again the emulator. Yep, there it is. I didn't expect that. Yes, I know it quit. Thank you, OSX. Okay. So we'll just check out some of the other environments in the game, and then we'll move on to 2003, which is a bit more of a fully featured game experience. Haunted. So player 5 this time is Cranky again. Oh wow, look at that. There's evil trees. Again, this is similar to something we see in Diddy Kong Racing. Again, in Smokey's World, there's a kind of haunted forest environment. I'm trying to get some balloons in the hopes that I get to show off the rocket, but yeah, lovely little ghosts around here to scare us. Okay, so I've grabbed the peanuts, and below that I have a rocket. Let's try and use it on someone. I think, yeah, there's 2 behind me. I'll slow down so they can catch up. I don't know what this is, some kind of extra token. The final 2003 build had like Kong letters to pick up, and then, oh, I didn't get to use my rocket. Oh good, I do have backward implemented rewind. So there's little stars that come out behind it as a projectile particle. So there you go. Good to know. This is the emulator that I've used a couple of times. I used it for Jet Set Radio. I think I did 5 just now. So what's 0? 0 is also Cranky. Cranky looks like he's wearing headphones or something, or earmuffs maybe. So this looks like another battle mode stage. The nice sort of Aztec pyramids in the background are reminiscent of Banjo-Tooie's Mayhem Temple, but we also saw Aztec style stuff in Donkey Kong 64's Angry Aztec. We see little worms here, which is nice. They might have been the objective in this map or something, or related to it. I think the ghosts in the trees is probably a mistake, but there's some, yeah, ruined pillars over here and another different kind of ghost. Okay, cool stuff. If we really search through every one of the instances here, there might be more to see, but I want to move on faster to the 2003 build. Yeah, sound mufflers. That's probably a good thing for actual pilots to wear, to be honest, because planes get pretty noisy, especially small ones. There's not much insulation, so you do want to be wearing ear protection. Yeah, so Swamp looks pretty cool. It's a bit different to the swamps we see in DKC2, a bit more bright and green. Lily pads and such. Oh, a frog! Oh, that's amazing! Oh, so cute. Look at that. I'm pretty sure that's in Banjo Pilot, actually. I don't have a huge amount of experience with Pilot, but one time I played through almost the whole game trying to get screenshots of the background characters. So tracks sometimes have little characters lying around on them like this. And one thing, I think I meant to allude to it at the start, but I didn't, is that Espresso the ostrich from Donkey Kong Country is in Banjo Pilot, a very concrete connection there, and a reminiscent or a leftover of the development when it was more of a Donkey Kong game. Also, there's a dragon in one of the volcano stages in Banjo Pilot that looks very suspiciously Kremling-esque, I would say. All right, so desert is the last environment we haven't seen, and we actually haven't seen Donkey Kong, come to think of it, in these debug options. Let me just check. Yeah, going through this menu, you never get Donkey Kong. You never get to pick him. So let's pick Peril again, because I do like the unique outfit that he gets in this game. Oh wow, some giant bleached ribs over there. Very Tatooine. It's another placeholder, numbers on the floor game here. But yeah, we'll just admire the background a little bit, I guess. It's nice, very June-y. Okay, so I guess that's about it that I can show off for the 2001 prototype, but we've got plenty more to see in the 2003 prototype, which was also leaked in 2011 by Rareware Central, but is available now in the places I mentioned, the cutting room floor, and hang on, I'll just change the window over. Cutting room floor and Hidden Palace both have it available. Okay, here we go. So I'll just restart, so we're right at the beginning. Come on, move. yeah, so this one you can see is a bit more finished. It has the full startup sequence, a proper title screen with animations. Although, yeah, the other one had a title screen with animations. Anyway, never mind. Sorry, I'm just trying to clean up the chat. There's like a big stupid notification. I just want to get rid of it, but I guess I can't. Maybe that's what happens when you're an affiliate. I don't know. Did I mention I'm an affiliate? Yeah, you can subscribe to me or whatever if you want. Okay, options. What's going on here? So in language, there's a lot of good options for different European languages, but yes, you can see they hadn't fully implemented the foreign language fonts. So the N with the special accent on it and the C with the little tail underneath aren't in there. What else do we have? Secret. Oh, what did that do? I don't know. All right. So instead of a simple character select screen and all those modes that we saw before, this one has more of its team setup. So you can pick the Kong team, which consists of Funky, Donkey, Dixie, and Diddy. Team Creme, starring K. Rool in King Guise this time. They've got rid of the aviator getup, unfortunately. Clump, Crunch, who I think is called Critter again in this game. And Claptrap even, who's an unusual choice. And then there's Team Cranky, a team that consists of 4 Crankies. Oh, I don't know where. There's a different menu you can get to. I don't know. Tantra. Okay, when you get here, you get to pick your character. Sorry. I want to like show some of the voice clips. I forget what the there's a shortcut for save states and I don't remember it. Is it this? No. Oh god, never mind. I'll use rewinds. That's set up on my controller. You can see Diddy has blue eyes. That's the kind of thing that goes back and forward. Anyway, that's clearly Grant Kirkhope there doing the DK voice. Lovely stuff. Let's hear what Dixie sounds like. Just a little giggle at this point. But we'll hear more of them during the race. Diddy has his Mickey Mouse voice. Oh, I don't like that voice, to be honest. So that's the classic California surfy of Funky Kong, rather than the Jamaican voice he has in the cartoon. What's really funny is when you pick Cranky mode, and you get 4 different Crankies doing different animations. Let's listen to his voice. Obviously. It's been said in the community that Cranky's voice is essentially just Frankie the Pitchfork from Conker's Bad Fur Day. So if you've played that, keep that in mind. Let's check out some of the Kremlins now. Shake it. Okay. Yes, sirree. Okay then. That's a weird K-Rool voice. Not what I would pick, but... Oh yeah! It's fun having a quadruped as a character, especially in a plane. But here we can see they also all have sort of their own planes on this screen. So I do want to try some of these modes, but it's... Oh yeah, that's the other thing. It actually tells you, like, picking Team Kong is the easy mode, and then that's intermediate and Cranky's expert. And everyone has their own stats too. So let's just do a cup. I don't know how long I'll play this for, because an interesting thing, yeah, good speed and acceleration is nice. I don't think weight will come into it too much. Okay. They all have the same stage, but I don't understand the difference here. But anyway, I'll pick one. There's this kind of rivalry thing happening. Oh, look at that! Isn't that lovely? A new treehouse for Cranky. A little text scroll to introduce like the setting of the game. That's really nice. Before we start, let's get a few things straight. Oh, I should be doing the Frankie voice, right? Before we start, let's get a few things straight. What's Frankie's voice? Oh man, sorry. You are racing for the pride of Team Kong. Don't let us down. I did not suffer these interminable amounts of monotonous gameplay for you to blow it all now. Each cup is made up of 4 races. If you win that, then you need to go head to head against the Kremlin to show them who's boss. 2 full stops. Look out for the target balloons. Shoot them and a secret boost will appear. Fly through it and something special will happen. Think you can handle it? I very much doubt it. I don't know what that voice was. But yeah, so from what I've read, all of the tracks that exist in this game are in the final version of Banjo Pilot in some form or another. I think they changed the background graphics and things for sure, but the track layouts I think are all the same. And part of the reason for this, and the other factor that I alluded to earlier, where there's placeholder music, or not placeholder, but a whole soundtrack was composed for this game in Donkey Kong style that was completely kept for Banjo Pilot, which is why you hear monkey noises in Banjo Pilot. The reason for this is that the development of Banjo Pilot was very rushed. They had this version of Diddy Kong Pilot that they pretty much, you know, worked a lot on and made a functional version of, but had to, so the TNT is a boost there. Yeah, they had to scrap it due to circumstances around the buyout and such, and aspects that they'd wanted to implement in the game weren't working out and things like this. So you can see the Kong letters as well to pick up another extra collectible. I don't know what they do. And we're seeing some of the pickups as well. We've got zingers and the TNT barrel as a boost, and gosh, what else is there? So the buzz, there's zingers and buzzes in the same game, which is nice. You don't see that often. I don't think even Barrel Blast has that, does it? Oh god. Yeah, it's interesting comparing this game, essentially another Donkey Kong Racing game that's in flight, sort of, to what decisions were made for Barrel Blast or Jet Race, as we know it in the PAL territories. Alright, yeah, I do have written down here the different kinds of items. Pink Buzz is homing, blue Buzz homes in on the leader, I think, like a blue shell in Mario Kart. Zinger, it goes behind you like that and stays in place. The TNT barrel's the boost. You can get a Spanner barrel, which drops behind you, or does something, I don't remember. Oh, I think it hits everybody on the course. And Rambi is an invincibility. You probably get that in last place or whatever. A lot of these have equivalents in the final Banjo Pilot. Like I said, a lot of stuff was just swapped out graphically, but functionally is similar because of Banjo Pilot's development being so rushed. They essentially took out this shelved prototype of Diddy Kong Pilot, swapped all the graphics, and that's basically all they had time for. You can read up about the development of it on the Rareware Central post about there's a couple of posts, one about the Banjo Pilot Voxel Alpha that I'll be playing later, and one about Diddy Kong Pilot accompanying the release of the prototypes. You can find them on the archive, or I'll probably link them in the description on YouTube. Yes, okay, I need a drink. As you can hear, the results screen here is exactly the same one that we heard at the very start of the stream when I was showing the final Banjo Pilot. Oh yeah, okay. So I assume there's going to be another race after this. You would have heard also voice clips happening during race. Much like in, I think Diddy Kong Racing had this, where characters would interact with each other when they passed or when they attacked each other. They had little voice clips for that. And you can hear them during gameplay, but if you go on YouTube, there's voice clip compilations of all the voices from this game. I think you have to hit that balloon with a weapon or something. And it's really funny to hear all the voices put up next to each other in these compilations, because they're a lot of fun, and they're so full of personality and silliness. There's Espresso, as seen in the final Banjo Pilot. Lovely stuff. Yeah, and I just want to throw shade against the portrayal of Kongs in like Nintendo developed games like Mario Kart and stuff, where they have the most absurd, like, animalistic voices. Or, I don't know. I was watching a speedrun of the new version of Tropical Freeze, and they were playing as Funky, and his voice is just, oh, so grating. I really don't like it. Yeah. And in any Mario Kart game, the Kongs just sound just weird. Anyway, it's fine. Don't worry about it. There's some... Oh yeah, the balloons here have been replaced by these kind of star barrels that have items in them. And you can see I also defended myself from even a blue buzz that homes in on first place player with a zing dropping behind me. So they're a very powerful defensive item in this case. Good to hold on to, I suppose, if you're in first. Alright, let's talk about the general gameplay here, because it's an evolution of Diddy Kong Racing that had car, hovercraft, and plane gameplay. When they were making this game, oh my gosh, what the heck? This is amazing. I can't believe I haven't investigated this more. But look at this. We have a full ice floe with a cruise ship stuck in it, and bloody orcas jumping out and breaching. This is beautiful. I love it. Okay, let's go. Oh man, you know, I said I don't like the Nintendo Kong voices, but Dixie's voice leaves a little something to be desired right here. That's okay. Dixie doesn't get voiced very often. Gibbon says I should get a repro of this. Not a bad idea, actually. This 2003 prototype is very playable, you know, and really interesting too. Like, it's functionally very similar to Banjo Pilot. I don't think it has all the features implemented. I don't really know. My preparation time for this stream was a little interrupted, but so I don't have all the details at the top of my mind. But yeah, this version of the game is very playable. Yeah, you could just hear Funky there saying, "Oh, dude." So very cool stuff. Anyway, yeah, I was saying how this is an evolution of Diddy Kong Racing. They did just the plane as the setting for this game. I just love seeing those orcas bopping along there and jumping out. It's a beautiful, yeah, a detail. Okay. What's the time? Okay, yeah, we're not far in, so we can do a fair bit of this. Oh no, there's lots of them at me. Come on, dude. Oops. There you go. You let go of the accelerator just before going in a zipper, and that speeds you up. That's tech you should remember from Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah, so they decided just to focus on the planes for this one, and that works decently well enough. One of the problems with this idea was that maybe the hardware, the platform wasn't super well suited to it. The releases of these prototype ROMs on Rareware Central are also accompanied by development anecdotes from Jens Restemeyer and Paul Rehm, who were prominent programmers on this original version, and they have a lot to say about how they worked on it, what they did, why it was cancelled, things like this. Given saying the music track for that stage was very Diddy Kong Racing style. Yeah, I agree. That's awesome, isn't it? Oh wow, is this a crumbling temple? You can see giant like K-Rool-esque statues over there. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, hang on a sec. I should look up who's the musician who's credited in Banjo Pilot, because it'll be the same one who did all the tracks for this version of the game. Like I said, they weren't able to swap any of it out, so we should give proper credit for that, because it is an aspect of this game that I enjoy a lot and is common to both. Okay, credits. Here they are. Music composition, Robin Beanland and Jamie Hughes, who are both long-time Rare composers. I think they're both still there. Yeah. They both have credits on Sea of Thieves. So Jamie Hughes is known as a bit of a musical chameleon. I think he did a lot of work on Cameo. No. Yes, Cameo. No? Additional live performances. What has he got for, like, main music score? Okay, he did the handheld DKC ports, Banjo Pilot, Connect Sports, yeah, okay. So kind of an assistant converter kind of person, I guess. Or, well, no, sorry, I shouldn't, like, denigrate his role on this, because obviously a talented musician, but Robin Beanland also very talented. You hear his stuff in Conquer, Killer Instinct, yeah, all sorts of stuff, and assisting on many other ones as well. So yeah, good job them. Right, moving on. Gibbon saying, I really love all these track background designs. Yeah, and that's one thing that's going to be unique to this version of the game. The track layouts, like I said, are all there in Banjo Pilot, playable the same way. Maybe they move some objects around or something, but I don't know if that sound effect is supposed to play like that. That might be a bug. But yeah, the whole backgrounds, they were all swapped out for Banjo-esque backgrounds. And I actually mentioned this on the Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge mobile stream, but Banjo Pilot is an interesting case because it was made by the handheld team, the same ones who created Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge. Pilot references... Oh, I got the Rambi. Let's use it. So I just start flashing. Okay, that's kind of boring, but... Nice Rambi portrait in there. I thought I would pull out Rambi and ride on him, but oh well. I don't know about this sound effect, but okay. What was I saying? Okay, oof. No, my brain, stop. Stop. God, one of the worst things about the hospital waiting room was the two children who just kept screaming ear-piercingly loudly at the top of their voice and very shrill. Oh, it was really bad. Anyway, can we... Okay, oh, thank God. Yes, so Banjo Pilot, one of the fun things about it I like is it references Kazooie and Tooie, both games from the 64, and it references things from Grunty's Revenge uniquely. So like you see Bozai in there and stuff like that, and there's a track that's based on Cliff Farm, the first world in Grunty's Revenge. Okay, so as we saw from that Comic Sans banner that Dixie was trailing, Comic Sans is of course endemic to the Rare handheld games on the GBA. No judgment. Yeah, we finished the cup and got in first place, and that's the Kong's victory screen. Lovely stuff. Well, Frankie. Well, I didn't think you had it in you. That's not quite Frankie, but we'll go on. But you actually proved you could do it. The boss race is now ready to try. Select that Kremling's ugly face from the cup screen and show him what we're made of. Cool, so we'll swap out our character here and then try one of the boss stages. I want to hear Grant Kirkhope, so yeah, we'll pick Donkey Kong. I assume it's Grant. It sounds a lot like what he did in DK64 for Donkey Kong's voice. So what does a boss track look like? This is it. Time to teach that stupid Kremlin a lesson. Go out and show him who's boss. Don't even think of coming back till you've beaten him. I don't appear to have any neck of any description. Okay. Oh, DK, love it. Okay, what is this? This is like, yeah, this is reminiscent. Sorry, this is what am I saying? I remember this kind of thing from Banjo Pilot. This is the sort of pursuit boss stage. You're traveling behind the enemy. You're shooting at them with a little pop gun. they're dropping things at you. It's a little bit like the Diddy Kong Racing the boss stages. Although, yeah, then there's a part where we swap places and they're shooting at me. We look behind. Oh, I love this music track. I'm going to shut up for a second. What I mostly love is that little vocalization that comes in. Oh, sorry, got replaced by the invincibility track. Just listen to this. There you see I got the spanner barrel. It hits everyone on stage like a Mario Kart lightning bolt. And yeah, I think this track is really funky, but I especially like the bit where it goes, Anyway, it's funny. Alright, let's shoot down this claptrap for good and finish the boss stage. How'd you like that? How'd you like that? Yeah, first place. Again, you can hear a lot of this stuff in the voice clip compilations. It's great stuff. Well, that wasn't too difficult, was it? I was gonna stick my big fork right into yous. What the damn diddly squat are you doing in my barn? Get on and race the rest of them. Nothing is going to happen until you beat all four. Okay, so that knocks out the boss, and then we have to continue playing through the rest. But I'm not going to do that on this stream. Because I got a couple other prototypes to show off, but we will spend more time on this one because it's the most fully featured of the prototypes I'm playing today. But I do want to show off some of the other characters and cops, I guess. So I should go to like single race or something and just look through some of the other tracks to see if we can find more backgrounds, because that's something we've enjoyed. But let me see. I really didn't like Peril's voice. I like Clump being there, that's nice. But my favorite is Critter because it's actually Crunch. Some more Diddy Kong Racing representation there. I also want to hear more of his voice saying shake it. That's funny. So let's see. I don't know. It's giving me the same track on the right. I'll just pick this one and see what happens, I guess. We might see some repetition here. This is funny. What's going on? This is a disgrace. This is a Kong game, not a Kremlin game. Not from around here, are you, boy? I don't see your name on the title page. My boys will put a stop to this insolence. My boys. That's amazing. Cranky referring to, like, DK and Funky as his boys. There is that fan theory that Funky is DK's brother. Or that Swanky is. Oh, that's a nice music track. And there's DK Island in the background. More or less as we see it in DKC for the GBA. Oh, that's actually cool. Using the TNT barrel drops it in front of you, or drops it like so that you're just coming up on it and then the explosion propels you forward. That's kind of clever. Gibbon also says, those are really neat boss stages. Yeah, it's a different way to do it, isn't it? A very different gameplay paradigm to the rest of the game, which is interesting. Oh, was that On Guard just popping out of the water there? I think it was. Keep an eye out, people. Yes, okay. Hey, watch it. That's definitely Grant. It's gotta be. This is actually, yeah, harder, as we saw. The Creme team is the intermediate level. Gibbon saying, I wonder if those swordfish are in Banjo Pilot. Yeah, off the top of my head, I only thought of Espresso and the Creme Dragon, but there might be other things that I've missed. What I was mostly looking for was the appearance of Saberman in the farm stage, you can spot him as he appears in Banjo-Tooie, hanging out on one of the fields, just waving at you among the other, you know, background characters that you see throughout the game. It's really cool. I was taking screenshots for the DK Vine Honorable Mentions feature. I think the Saberman feature was completed. That was about the last thing that I did before it kind of all stalled. But you can go and read that on DK Vine. I think all the screenshots are broken, but maybe some of them are fixed. I don't know. So you can see the screenshot I took of Saberman in Banjo Pilot if you head over to dkvine.com/honorable mentions with a U. Anyway, enough of that, because it's a source of shame to me. Anyway, let's talk about So I talk about how this is kind of following on from some of the stuff established in Diddy Kong Racing. The boss stages are kind of reminiscent, but a different take on it. You know, the plain gameplay, the zippers, the items. You know, a lot of it is, of course, riffing on Mario Kart, but as well as Diddy Kong Racing itself was. But yeah, I love seeing this kind of evolution of one of those great N64 games that itself was quite rushed, but ended up a really great product. Banjo Pilot also very rushed, but the result is still quite good, I think. One of the interesting things about it, and you can read this in sort of Jens Resemeyer's anecdotes that I mentioned on Rareware Central, when he talks about how sort of management and Nintendo themselves as well had kind of problems with how the game played, and he agreed with a lot of them, saying like some of the basic things about the game are a bit misguided. Like the fact that we're in planes flying around isn't that interesting if you're on completely flat backdrops, which is what the Mode 7 engine allows. They tried to rectify this with a kind of voxel engine, which again we'll see later on in the stream. I'm going to play a version of Banjo Pilot that has fully true 3D in its stages, which is a lot more interesting when you're able to move freely in an airplane. But yeah, the version that shipped is still in this format, Mode 7 type thing, where everything's flat, and as a result, the fact that you're flying in 3D space doesn't really matter. And another odd thing about that is that it works like a kart racer if you're driving a car on the ground. If you fly over a rough patch, and I should have shown this a few times already, but I'll show you again now, you sort of go a bit shaky and you go slower. Now, why is that? That doesn't make any sense. If you're in an airplane, you should be able to fly anywhere. And they sort of get around this in Diddy Kong Racing by having a lot of walls around, as you know, as you would. It makes sense. But you just can't do that if you're working in this Mode 7 framework where everything's mapped onto one flat plane. They do have obstacles sticking up in the form of sprites that you can run into, but that doesn't limit your overall flying abilities. And there's probably invisible walls and stuff. Yeah, if I fly out too far over non-track space, it just redirects you back. So yeah, it's a little odd, and like I wouldn't say it fundamentally breaks the concept of the game, but it does make the whole thing feel a little bit off, maybe. And that's certainly what the management was saying, and part of the reason why the game in this form was shelved. And then it was when it was a different team. Jens Resemeier and Paul Reim were not involved in Banjo Pilot itself. They created this Diddy Kong Pilot, and then a slightly different team came in and unshelved this and polished it and changed out all the graphics, as I mentioned, in order to have another game to release through THQ on the Game Boy Advance, along with things like Grunty's Revenge, Saberwolf, GBA, and It's Mr. Pants. Unfortunately, Banjo Pilot did not get a mobile phone version like the other ones did. We'll get that sound glitch again. So yeah, I am pleased that we're seeing different tracks by picking a different cup. Wow, the background here is really nice. Kind of an evening time sky that has a nice color gradient to it. That's lovely. This is a bit, yeah, kind of African savannah, kind of Lion King style environment. Although there seems to be structures over there in the background. What's that about? I'm not sure. But yeah, again, we can see Espresso. I think Crunch is kind of a slow character. Also, I keep forgetting to let off the accelerator when you go through a zipper, because that always gives you a bigger boost. I love this music track too. There's really good music in this game. Yeah. Hats off to Robin Beanland and Jamie Hughes. Yeah, Jamie Hughes, wasn't it? Oh boy. Alright. Oh, the sound is happening again. I'm sorry. Not great. Not great. Oops. Let's get a nice look at Espresso. I'm not doing well anyway, so might as well slow down a bit. Yeah, good stuff. His shoes are the wrong color, but oh well. Wait, what? I'm not going the wrong way. I fixed it, but the wrong way is still there. Oh, actually, that's one thing. Okay, it's gone away finally. One thing I haven't... No, I'm not. I'm going the right way. Am I? Am I not? I'm following everyone else. I just overtook someone, but I'm still in 8th. Okay, I think it's bugged. Oh no, I've crossed the finish line and hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped. I'm trapped in this nightmare. Oh, what? If you don't have an item, you always have your little pop gun, which is like the peanut item from the 2001 prototype, or the normal gun that you have in the dogfights. I didn't realize that you have it at all times. That's interesting. Maybe you have to hit an enemy a few times for it to have an effect or something. But that gives you a little option to play offensively, even if you haven't picked up an item. That's cool. Oh my goodness, can we stop with the sound? Thank you. Good grief. Come on, that was terrible. You're letting the whole team down. You need to finish in the top 4 places if you want to qualify for the next race. Not my fault, it bugged. Alright, so now what we're going to do is check out Team Cranky because it's amazing. And why don't we try the Cranky challenge? Ask Cranky. Similar stats to Dixie, but yeah, it's just a huge, really funny joke that there's 4 of them and they're all the same. You just pick one. I notice a silver coin with a banana on it. That's very Diddy Kong Racing style in the top left corner. I think that's what Cranky's challenges are, the equivalent to the silver coin challenge in the original Diddy Kong Racing. So this actually lets you pick any race. So this should be a good opportunity to look at the ones that we haven't seen. So I think we've seen that. Yeah, we've seen that. We've probably seen that, but we've seen the beach background at least. Jungle, temple. Yep, wilderness. So like the savannah, ice, jungle, lava temple again, beach, lava, beach, savannah, and ice. So I think we've seen all of the environments in this game. I'm not sure which of the particular tracks that we've seen, but I want to see those orcas again. So let's go to a nice icy stage, maybe icy passage. Let's see how good you are. I've left 6 coins on each track and you need to collect them all and still beat me in a race. Think you're up to it? You don't stand a chance. Not a problem. This really is Frankie. Amazing. Oh, this is a very Diddy Kong Racing track. Oh yeah. Or is this the one that Gibbon was talking about earlier? Anyway, very reminiscent of like Snowflake Village and all that. And if you haven't seen it before, I recommend looking up Matt Corner's mashup of the Diddy Kong Racing, I think it's Snowflake Village, with I wish it could be Christmas every day, which is I wish it could be the walrus. What is it? I wish I could be the walrus every day, I think is the name of the track. There's a bit of adult content in the lyrics, so be warned about children, but it's very funny and very well done. Matt Corner is, much like Robin Beanland and Jamie Hughes, a musical genius who excels at making jingles. I wonder if he takes commissions, because if you're doing a podcast, get Matt Corner to do some jingles for you. Also, he has a band. Check out Cobley the band, which he does with his friend Mike Cobley. As well as his podcast, actually, with Cobley, which is called Matt and Cobley's Podcast. It kind of had a bit of an abrupt hiatus and possibly unplanned, and I don't really know what happened with it, but yeah, what's there is very funny and very good. No. Oh wait, now that I have the pea shooter, I should be able to hit those floating target balloons, eh? So I'm doing very badly at picking up the coins here, but I'm just enjoying the scenery, to be honest. I did manage to beat Cranky in the race. Ask Cranky. Hang on, I'll just reverse that, because he has a little voice clip when you finish. I want to listen to it. Was that ooh easy, this time I will try or something? Okay, that was two Crankies overlapping in voices, so I just want to wait and hear my lose quip. Serves you right. Next time I will try? I don't know. I guess that was overlapping as well. There was two separate, yeah, voice clips there. What's the matter? Is it too tough for you? You didn't collect all the coins or win the race. In my day, we would have done all this with just one retry. Classic Cranky. Now let's see what he says if I win but don't get all the coins, which I was on track to do. Pathetic. Doesn't count if you don't collect all the coins. You were just lucky anyway. If this plane were working properly, you wouldn't get anywhere near me. Okay, that's interesting. Well, okay, as far as I'm concerned, I'm fairly satisfied. I've seen most of the, or, you know, a fair bit of the content in this game. I haven't really gone through it and beaten it, but you certainly could do that. Like I said, it's very functional. A lot of the stuff in here is perfectly playable and unique from Banjo Pilot, even if the track designs themselves are not. But it's a really fascinating little thing, especially with how far it got in development before being cancelled. So that's Diddy Kong Pilot. Really cool game. Like, considering its state, I really do consider it an installment in the Diddy Kong Racing series, the Donkey Kong overall universe. Just the fact that it didn't get released is an unfortunate side effect, but I'm so glad that we did get this prototype dumped and playable, and, you know, preserved for everyone to enjoy. It's very cool stuff. So thanks to Rareware Central for that. So what I'm going to do now, because I think I've done a decent job of Diddy Kong Pilot, that's an hour mark there, so we'll call an end to that. But I will play a version of Banjo Pilot now, the sort of successor. Hold on, gotta get the display up. Won't be a second. Ding. Okay. So what we've got here is a 2004 prototype of Banjo Pilot. One of the things they were fooling around with during the development of Diddy Kong Pilot was, well, for one, a tilt sensor. So you would tilt your Game Boy Advance to steer your plane. It didn't work well enough for them to consider it ready to implement the final product. It was removed at some point. But, you know, actually, I don't know if they were going with the voxel thing for Diddy Kong Pilot. What I know about the voxel version here, yeah, I'll play it just so you can see it sort of winding up here. But this is what gameplay looks like, and we'll see more of that later. But like when the team got the brief to make Banjo Pilot, before they unshelved the Diddy Kong Pilot prototype and reskinned it, they spent months working on this version of the game with true 3D. Unfortunately, in the end, the problem was that when you have this modeled landscape with the voxel-based geometry drawing, as well as all the objects and interactables on screen, it slows down to a crawl. It's too much for the Game Boy Advance hardware to properly handle. So the performance was just not good enough for prime time, and they had to scrap this version of the game and go back to basics, which meant taking the Diddy Kong Pilot prototype that had already been made and just changing the graphics. And that was done in a very short amount of time as a backup, a plan B to this voxel based version of it. But this is another one of the prototypes that was leaked by Rareware Central. Thanks again to them. This is the result of a few months' work. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. Covered that. I'll just check out some options. Very cool options. Default name is ban. I don't know what that means. Gibbon says, I do really love this voxel engine. I adore this voxel engine. It is so much more impressive than the Mode 7 based what we got. It's just too bad they couldn't get it efficient enough to work. So there's a lot of things implemented here. I'll just pick a Grand Prix and see where we go from there. This is the same character select screen from the final game. Everyone's got their own stats. Banjo-Kazooie, Mumbo, and a Jinjo, generic Jinjo, are playable there. In the final game, you also have, once you unlock them through gameplay, you also have Humbawamba, Grunty in her original witch form, which puts this out of continuity, and I think the team have sort of said this that they are ignoring continuity for the purpose of this game. You get Klungo as well. Who's the other one? Bottles is the TT character. Oh, that's what I didn't get to say in the last game. Get ready, go. All the voice clips around the race itself and starting the race, they're reused from Diddy Kong Racing. So TT exists in Diddy Kong Pilot as a background character, contributing his voice to the racing. There you go. But like TT was an unlockable character in Diddy Kong Racing who was far and away superior to everyone else and much more powerful character, Bottles takes that place here. So you have Bottles challenge races in the final game. And then when you unlock him, he trumps everybody else. And the final playable character is Jolly Roger, the NPC character from Jolly Roger's Lagoon in Banjo-Tooie. Yeah, kind of an oddball pick, but nice queer representation for Pride Month, I suppose. Although he's a bit of a unfortunate stereotype in some ways. Anyway, let's pick Kazooie because Kazooie is cool. There's only a Bottles GP to pick in this version, but that's going to take us, I guess, through the stages that exist. I don't know how many stages there are, but we'll just play until we think we've seen everything. Welcome to the Bottles Grand Prix. Can you master the tracks and win all 4 cups? Each cup consists of 4 races with points awarded for each race. The better your finish position, the more points you get. Rack up enough points, blah, blah, blah. The Cutting Room Floor article on these prototypes mentions, interestingly, that I think one of the prototypes' scoring schemes is the same as that used in Mario Kart games up to 64 or up to Super Circuit. And in the final game, they use a scoring scheme more similar to what we see in Mario Kart Double Dash. That is intense trivia. I hope you appreciated that. So let's just play. The Honeycomb Cup is the easiest. Even for a novice such as yourself, it should be a piece of cake to complete. This is the perfect opportunity for Kazooie to come in with a snappy comeback. To say, sod off worm breath or whatever. But no, it's just Bottles talking at us here. Not as characterful as Cranky talking at us in Diddy Kong Pilot, unfortunately, but let's get into the game. So yeah, look at this. It's just amazing. The characters are still these sort of 2D sprites with different rotation frames of animation, but this environment is just amazing. Flying through this on a Game Boy Advance is just a marvel, isn't it? Oh yeah, pressing B and A at the same time looks behind you. B slows you down, I guess, maybe the brake. I wonder what the item button is. I wonder if this version even has items. Yes, it does. Okay, grabbing one of those honeycombs gives us items, and let me see. I think these are all the same items that are in the final version of Banjo Pilot, which means that this is quote-unquote Mumbo's head, although I'd say it looks more like Mingy Jongo's head or possibly a Mumbo token. But this is the... Oh, great. How do I... Oh, yeah, that's right. Debug mode. You hold select and you can just move around freely and you stay in space. Anyway, it's weird. I don't know how to activate items. I'm trying all the L and R and B. Maybe they're just not implemented in this version. Anyway, the Mumbo's head item is like the lightning bolt. It hits everybody on stage. You also have ice eggs that drop behind you as a little mine. Fire eggs shoot in front of you as a projectile. I think that's what it is. It might be wrong, but what else do we have? Sorry, hold on. Oh yeah, the turbo trainers from Kazooie and Tooie are the boost. You go faster. That's not TT. I wonder whose voice this is. Is it Chris Sutherland? Who knows? What else do we have? The golden feather is, I believe, an invincibility item. The fun one is the Saucer of Peril from Banjo-Tooie's Witchy World. That's your homing item that I think homes in on first place or the one in front of you or whatever. Yes. Yeah, one of my notes here is, needless to say, it was a troubled development. And the quote specifically from Jens Rastemeyer about the whole Mode 7 versus voxel thing, quote unquote, when talking about how Nintendo executives reacted to Diddy Kong Pilot in its original form, a racing game with planes is pointless if you don't have a 3D world. And I think when you compare... Okay, there's all the characters in the game. There you go. I did mention them, but we can see them now. Yeah, when you compare this version of the game to what you have in Diddy Kong Pilot, in the final Banjo Pilot, I wish they had made this work, because it's really cool. Anyway. Gibbon says, I'm going to be honest, I was only vaguely aware kart races had scoring systems. Yeah, well, you know, if you come first, you get 10 points, the second gets, I don't know, 5, and then 3 or whatever. Whatever it is, that's what I'm talking about. It's... You don't really need to be aware of it too much, but, you know, it's always there. Or usually, I guess it doesn't have to be, does it? Oh, an S. What's this? What's this do? Oh, that's right. I can't bloody use items. Oh, I did it! Somehow. So that S with a star has put, like, a clockwork eggs rotating around me. That's what they look like in Tooie, aren't they? They're the bigger ones that are, like, spotty. I wonder if I can activate them. Well, nothing else works. Oh! There's a barrel roll, or an aileron roll, I should say. Okay, yeah, so if you're veering to one direction and then you press the shoulder button twice, you do a little roll. That's amazing. That probably helps you avoid maybe avoid a weapon or something, or get around a corner quicker. Wait, hold on. Where are we? I think we're in Treasure Trove Cove here, actually. It's got that central mountain and everything. This is pretty cool stuff. So one thing you do lose when you have a fully 3D rendered world is those nice backgrounds that we saw in Diddy Kong Pilot. But we do still see a background sometimes when there's a gap like that. So that's nice. I still don't know how exactly to activate items. And I think I'm accidentally doing debug features by jamming these buttons because I'm like freezing every now and then. But anyway, we did something. And I guess, yeah, this sort of egg item I have now is not in the final version of the game. So there's Another little tidbit for you. We're not doing well here. To be honest, the performance of this is not that bad. If this was how the final game was, I would not be like too put out by playing it, you know? So that's a little disappointing. I don't know. Obviously not everything has been implemented in this version. We don't have music, for example, during the race. Let's see. I'm just checking if I have more notes to cover. Yeah, that's about it. So however many tracks there are here, we'll check them out and then we'll move on. But yeah, Banjo Pilot is fascinating. What I really like about this game is that we essentially have 3 or 4 different versions that we can play, and they're all unique in their own ways. Thanks to the prototype dumping. Because the final game is pretty good, but combining it with all these other iterations makes me appreciate it even more. So this looks like a bit of what's it called? Freeze Easy Peak, because that looked like Boggy's Igloo back there. But it could equally be Hail 5 Peaks Icy Side, because we haven't seen a giant snowman. Oh, I saw a tiny snowman that looked just like the snowman in Freeze Easy Peak. Classic. Love that. I'll try and get a better look on the next lap. But I like that even when we have a 3D engine, it still has opportunities to put in little fun cameos in on the, you know, the floor level of tracks. I'm trying to activate this damn item. I've hit all the buttons. Here it is. It's just a rendition of the snowman from Freeze Easy Peak. I wonder if that's in the final Banjo Pilot. It's been too long since I've really given it a good look and a good play. Having recently revisited Grunty's Revenge, I think I would get more out of it. Because like I said, it draws from all 3 of those games in the series up to that point. Has a lot of fun background stuff. Like, one of the other things I like about the final Banjo Pilot is there's a stage called, I don't know what it's called, but it's got Clanker, the giant mechanical shark whale, but now he's in a river, so he's not trapped in his underground cave anymore. He's out in the fresh air, which is just lovely for him, you know. Yeah. You know what? I think we've got time. I'm gonna, after this, load up the final Banjo Pilot and just have a tool around in some of the tracks. Check out some background stuff, because I'm enjoying that aspect of these. Okay. I don't know how many tracks are in this game though, so I might not have time. Because we do have a Battletoads game to play after this as well. Oh, Clanker's River is here! Oh my goodness, that's great. How many tracks are in this game? Now I'm really, curious. Okay, cool. So this is Clanker's River, fully 3D modeled. It's lovely and clean. We even have like these, changes in elevation there, a bit of a waterfall back there. Oh, this is great. So there's no voices or anything, but that's okay. Those stumps over there are a bit reminiscent of Spiral Mountain. Sorry, just having a look, see if I can see anything else around. Alright, so not too many background details in this stage. Oh, what the? Excuse me? It's Saberman! I spent so long looking for him in Cliff Farm. It took a while to get through the game to that point, but it's a lot easier to see him in the voxel alpha. Check that out. That's the early redesign. So you see, oops, well, he's disappeared now. Okay, we'll move on. You see Saberman like that in all khakis, or khakis. I'm not sure which is correct. Oh, I managed to use an item. L activates some items, but I guess some of them don't work. Maybe that's how it goes. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you see Saberman like that in 2E. You also see him in that form in Saberwolf GBA. Excellent game. Highly recommend that one. It's a like isometric adventure that has 2D puzzle platformer levels between them. Oh, okay. Maybe this clockwork egg thing is just a shield that goes around me after that. Maybe some items are implemented, but some aren't. Yeah, so I can shoot fire eggs. All right, I'll try L more now that I know L works, but maybe some items just don't work. Yes. So what I like is that there was a redesign of Saberman during development of Saberwolf GBA. So some of the like promotional artwork has him with like a green vest and green shorts. So it breaks up the color profile of his design a bit more. And yeah, I like that better than the all khakis look. I think he was also going to look like that in Saberman Stampede and some of the concept art for that, for the 360 that never happened. But in-game, he's all in khakis. But yeah, it's interesting to look at one game and have two different designs of the character in the promotional art. Oh dear, what happened? I can't let you race against a champion until you prove yourself ready. You need to finish in 3rd place or better. Champion. So I wonder if this version of the game also has the boss levels. Interesting. All right, let's check out some of the other modes that we have here. So Cheeto is here, as in the final game. Getting some of his pages is kind of the equivalent of, silver coin challenges or that kind of thing. By finding pages, and apparently I have 4, you can unlock new stuff. Globos GP, Globos TT, Globos JC. I have no idea what that means. Great. GP Grand Prix, TT Trophy, no, Time Trial, and JC Jiggy Challenge. Okay, great. I still don't know what Globo's version of that means, but what is trophies then? It's Royston! Royston's in the game! Oh, I love that. I really should play more of the original Banjo Pilot. So that's just a screen for seeing your trophies if you've won any of them in the Grand Prix so far, and I haven't. Ginger. This time will be Ginger. Oh. My chat window has come up with a spinner saying connecting to chat. Is that the first time it's admitted that it's like having a problem connecting? Bloody Twitch chat. It always drives me bonkers. Alright. You think you're good enough to take the Jiggy challenge? Well, not really. So this is the silver coin challenge, much like Cranky's challenge, much like TT's silver coin challenge. You finish the race and get the coins at the same time. Pretty sure this is in Final Banjo Pilot as well. But it's the same honeycomb track, so we won't pick that because we've seen that already. What I'll do is time trial. Ugh, no. I balked the menu. We'll just have a look at Royston again. Very lovely stuff. The one concrete connection between Banjo-Kazooie and ukulele. Anyway, Mumbo this time. Uminaka. I don't think he said that, but anyway. Okay. Yes, bottles. I know what a time trial is. Oh, you have to unlock them. Okay. Well, now I won't be able to tell you if there are other tracks in the game, because the only tracks available to me are the ones that we've already seen that I played through. There might be more. I'll just do a quick check of the Cutting Room Floor article on this Voxel alpha and see what it has to say about playable tracks. Voxel engine build, different rendering engine, etc. No music is played. Bottle's theme music is in the key of C instead of A. There's some minor graphical changes. Plane selection? I didn't get a plane selection. Okay, whatever. Sprite viewer, debug menu. Level select. Okay, so it says in the menu, press L. Okay, cool. Level. Oops. Huh? Oh. Sprite Grid. So the Sprite viewer, that works. Maybe level select doesn't work. Free movement in game. I showed that before. Oh, hold R. Yeah, okay. So this lets you like look at the different sprites or whatever. Can I leave? Okay. So hold R and then, okay. Sprite Grid, title page, main game type, front end, intro, bottle speech, Cheeto speech, grunty speech. Oh, now I'm curious. Oh, look at that. You know, for all I know, half this stuff is in the final Banjo Pilot, but I'm here being like, oh my goodness, how exciting. Looks like a proper King Jingling throne room that is even more ostentatious than one we see in Tui. Trophy page, win page, legal page. Yeah, that one. I thought so. So I got to this menu, by the way, from the menu screen, press L and then hold R to cycle through these. Trev Test Zone. I've heard about this. This... What? It's a lovely little plane, but there's the lava gloop that we saw in Diddy Kong Pilot on the lava temple stages. So this must be like a... Yeah, well, obviously it's a test map. But it appears to have a similar layout to the final Spiral Mountain stage. Yep, alright. Can I quit? Okay. Alright, I think my chat's reconnected, so feel free to talk to me. Oh, credits. There's a credits! Which will show us some other tracks that we haven't seen before. The Banjo Pilot team. Let's take this opportunity for a quick H2O break. So here's who we have to thank for the game engine. That was unfortunately not used. Yes, I can see you, Gibbon. Thank you. Welcome back. Hello. Testing. 1, 2. Paul Rame, there he is. Worked on the original, and I guess worked on the voxel build too. All right, this is boring me. You can look at this yourself if you want. This one is available in the same ways that you can see that one. So boss challenge. I'd like to check out one of these since we weren't able to unlock them. Whoa, what is this? There's a whole UI. This map is gigantic and it's so smooth. Look how the frame rate is better in this, but how big is this map? This is really cool. Maybe I won't have time to play the final build today. Like I said, it's a completed game. People know about it. You can go and check out Banjo Pilot if you like. But this is something you don't see every day. All right, so it's not obviously not implemented completely. Oh, what went wrong? I couldn't beat Kazooie. No. I couldn't, you're right. Sorry about that. Alright, let's try some of the other boss challenges. See if there's a different map. It is a different map. This one has zippers. And it might be the same geometry actually with a different palette. Alright, that's interesting. So we'll just cycle through some of them, I guess. Oops. Bottles is stuck not saying anything. I think I have to reboot now. Okay, I might have to do some saving and loading. I just gotta figure out what the shortcut was. Hold on a second. Maybe I did a different shortcut for this. Alright, so quick save and quick load. Yeah, they've come uncoupled for some reason. So that. Whoa, what? Oops. No, that's my rewind button. What did I do? So if that's quick save, well, how about I do quick save, quick load? Okay, there we go. Golly. All right, so I'll quick save on this menu and then I can quickly go back to it. So quick save, boss challenge 3. Yep, it looks similar, but it's red this time. Boss challenge 4, it's pink. Obviously the opponent characters haven't been implemented here, but it would have been like an all-range mode kind of dogfight my L button doesn't do anything, but yeah, it would have been like flying around and shooting at the opponent. But instead of the tunnel that we have in Diddy Kong Pilot and the final Banjo Pilot, it was a completely open stage. Okay, 5 is blue. Yep. Okay, there might be different things to see. Like we had zippers on that one other stage and some music notes in midair the other time. I don't know what they do. 6. Yep, it's purple this time. 7. It's yellow. Okay, this is not that interesting, I guess. But just finish it out here. It's a different kind of purple. Maybe lavender? I don't know. Magenta? Something. Alright. What else can we see? So, Mayhem Temple, Steam Events, Wishy's World, Jinky's June. Wow, there's a lot of tracks in here. That's really cool. But there's T. Maybe these are different modes, so T might be time trial. Yeah, okay, so Trev Test Zone, Spiral Mountain, Treasure Trove Cove, Chili Chasm, and Clanker's River we've seen. So I'll just go through the rest of these. I wonder if it cycles over. Yeah, so R. Like, it looks like there's 16 tracks in all, 4 cups of 4, but then it goes to R, and I don't know what R is. So I'll pick Lava Jetty R and see what happens. Whoa, for lava, this is very green. So yeah, apparently there's lots to see in this game. I'm gonna go through all the tracks at least, doing 1 lap of them, and there was a Globo back there, so the cameos do not stop. We're getting those orange lava drops that we saw in Trev Test Track. Trevor Atwood, I expect, is what that's referring to then, having seen the credits. Okay, so that's crashed, which is why I guess this is an incomplete game. That's fine. I don't know what R is. Maybe it's just reverse. So like you go backwards through the stage instead. So we'll just go to the normal ones. We've done Lava Jetty. I'm curious now. I have to pick normal Lava Jetty and see if it's not green. It's not green. Huh. Okay. So what are the R variants then? All right, let's go. Hang on, which one was load? Save, load. Okay. I'm going to check out R Clanker's River. Yeah, it's a completely different color. So it's like a different palette of the track. Is it backwards though? I think it is backwards. Yeah, backwards and a new palette. Weird. I think we saw this palette in the credits actually. Oh, and a Globo's there. Huh. Oh man, there's so much to this. And that's where Saberman was before. Alright, I don't know. I'll just do the normal ones. See what they're supposed to look like. Alright, Pterodactyl Land, looking very sort of desert ruins. That looks like a kind of pyramid, an Egyptian pyramid. Maybe like Gobi's Valley, but it said it was Pterodactyl Land, so whatever. Oh yeah, I only just noticed that I'm Banjo. I guess if you go through the debug mode, you only have Banjo. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so we've done a lap of that. Just do a lap of each of these tracks so we can see them all. Freeze Easy Peak. So the other one wasn't Freeze Easy Peak, it was Chili Chasm, but it did have the Freeze Easy Peak, Snowman, and Boggy's Igloo. Whatever, I guess I guess you could say that like part of Freeze Easy Peak is Chili Chasm or whatever, but the background's also different. Whatever. It's no big deal. Hey, Snowman's back. Cool stuff. Alright, so that's pretty simple. Jolly Roger's Lagoon. Of course, note that the text doesn't fit on screen in the debug mode. It's kind of going off. And the default starting position rammed me into a mountain immediately. Lovely. Okay. What's this? This is supposed to be Jolly Roger's Lagoon. Okay, I guess, yeah, like sandy shores and stuff. I expected a little town, but you can't hope for too much, I guess. Is this supposed to be the town? This is a ship. Is this Captain Blubber's ship? From Treasure Trove Cove? Yeah, I don't know if the names are really matching up with the environments we're going to, but that's okay. It's pretty cool. It's interesting. Okay. Cauldron Keep from I can't remember if Cauldron Keep is the first game or the second one. Yeah, whatever. Oh, what's this? Fountains. Keep an eye on the mini-map as well. That gives you a good indication of what might be in the stage, because we actually saw the outline of the ship in the Jolly Roger's Lagoon. Is that topiary? Sort of hedge stuff. This is pretty cool. This might be the most we ever see of Cauldron Keep. You don't really see much of it in the game. So there's that path. What's this path? A little bit of a shortcut, I see. Well, that's cool. Gobi's Valley. Thought we already went to Gobi's Valley. Yep. So there's a pyramid, good stuff. More pyramids, mini pyramids. And another big one. Let's go around it. Oh yes. That's Peach's Castle in Mario Kart 64 Royal Raceway vibes right there. And then when they brought the track back, you couldn't go around the castle anymore. Big downer. I didn't see any Jinxie. Wait, what? Oh, there's two similar pyramids. I see. And a zipper was behind it, of course, as we saw earlier. And here's a cactus. Right, what else have we got? Breagull Beach! Oh, yes, we're getting into Grunty's Revenge territory here. Breagull Beach, of course, was the second world in the GBA game and the mobile game. And was the home of the only other Breagulls we see in the series, apart from, of course, Kazooie's mother, Vuvuzela, who assists Banjo during the events of Grunty's Revenge missions for Java Phone. Because the plot is that Kazooie's been kidnapped, and yet we have boss fights where Banjo is holding a Breagull shooting at the boss. So, yeah, if you missed that stream, Gibbon and I came up with the fan theory that the Breagull that Banjo is actually holding and is helping him is Kazooie's mother, Vuvuzela, who we gave a name to, because, of course, it's happening in the past. Anyway, Breagull Beach is cool. Although we don't see any other Breagulls on the floor in this version, unfortunately. Hailfire Peaks. Fireside, clearly. Ow, ow, ow. You know what? I ought to log into the DK Vine forum and expound on that fan theory. Get people talking about it. Yes, I'm going to do it. Anyway, we saw two Globos overlapping each other earlier in this stage. Let's see if we can spot them again. I forget where they were. Oh well. We've seen Globos a few times. I wonder if we can pick them up. Because, like, they were collectible in Tui. Well, they're gone. Maybe I did collect them. I don't know. I read somewhere that Globos are like an item. I don't know. I forget. Things. My brain. Jinxie's Tunes. Great. Okay, so another variant of Gobi's Valley, or another area of Gobi's Valley. Much like I suspect that Chili Chasm is a different area of Freeze Easy Peak. I wonder if we get to see Jinxie in this one. Jinxie is, of course, the large sphinx-like dog creature that you talk to, but is also a structure that you can go inside of. Anyway, it's in Banjo-Kazooie, in Gobi's Valley. So there's 3 pyramids we can go around in this one, but pretty similar to the other Gobi's Valley track. Witchy World from Tui. Gibbon says, I did bring it up, our fan theory that is, in one of the Discords, and people seemed amenable. I must have missed that. Unless you did it in the inner circle. Anyway. Forum thread would be a good place to lay it down and have it be, you know, a bit more permanent. Wait, what was this track? Because we're in Castle Keep again, Cauldron Keep. With the hedge mazes and all. Actually, hedge mazes, dead trees. It's a bit like Mad Monster Mansion, ain't it? Oh, a graveyard. Oh, look at that. Fully 3D modeled tombstones. That is cool. All right. What was that? That's Witchy World. That's Witchy World. I don't know about that. All right, Steam events. Steam events. That rings a bell. Steam events. No. I'm thinking of Steamy Swoop. Yeah, like the first jungle level in Diddy Kong Pilot. Anyway. I'm forgetting about the turn maneuver. So I may have explained it wrong before. Now that I know that L does items, whichever way you're facing, you double tap R and you'll do a little roll. So that's how that works. Volcanoes. I guess Hellfire Peaks, Fireside. Famously, in the original game, there was no lava world. But Gobi says, that's it, I'm going off to the lava world. And I think they planned one at some point, but it was cut from Banjo-Kazooie. You can see one section of the hub, Grunty's lair, is lava themed, but there's no corresponding world for it. Probably one of the early things was Fire World. Anyway, the final track, Mayhem Temple, has an underscore instead of a space. Let's see what it looks like. 3, 1, go. I think I missed 2. Anyway, that sounds a little bit like TT, but this looks very suspiciously like Spiral Mountain, and I just noticed, yes, Globo up on top of the waterfall. Cool. Yeah, this is just Spiral Mountain again, isn't it? You cheated. I'm so stoked that I found Saberman in this game. That's made my day, honestly. And it's been a real bugger of a day. Woo! Didn't get home till 3 AM. Anyway, it's all fine, I think. Okay. What else can we do with this right now? Nothing. What's the time? 1:37. Alright, I'm going to load up the final Banjo Pilot. Do a little scan of some of the tracks in there. See if there's anything cool we should check out. But we do have to play the Battletoads, and there's 8 levels in that. So, quick race. I haven't unlocked anybody. Mumbo Jumbo. Yeah, we haven't unlocked the tracks either. So we only have the first 4 available. We only have 1 available. Good grief. I'll show you, in that case, what Spiral Mountain looks like in the final game, so you can compare it to the voxel, and you can compare the music and the mechanics to Diddy Kong Pilot, which we can already tell has the same music here. B has been used for the item button, as it was in Diddy Kong Pilot. Can I still do rolls? I cannot do rolls, so a lot of things have been left out from the voxel build. The notes are taking the place of the Kong letters. Obviously we have the honeycomb item things instead of the barrels, but you should be able to recognize the music. And I didn't mention it before. I noticed it, but I didn't say it out loud. But the animation, there are so many frames for these planes. It's really impressive. In the Mode 7 build, that is. And this was true in Diddy Kong Pilot as well. Of course, there are different characters and different models. But they both share this sort of smooth animation of banking and pitching and whatever other plane terms that you like for moving around. But yeah. And yeah, as Gibbon says, man, that voxel engine was just so much better. Don't get me wrong, I like this, but it was so much better. I definitely agree with you. But hey, we have a kind of functional build of the voxel version. So, you know, that's something at least. And if you want a complete game with all the modes fully implemented, then the final Banjo Pilot has all the stuff that works, because it's a finished game that was released. Anyway, I think that'll do it for the Banjo Pilot coverage. I'm glad I was able to cover this game because it's got those connections to Grunty's Revenge, it's got connections to Diddy Kong Racing, it's just got a really weird development history that's resulted in 3 other playable prototypes that we now have access to, which is just amazing. And yeah, it's got a lot of cool Banjo stuff in it, but equally the Diddy Kong Racing version has a lot of cool Kong stuff in it. And it's the best of both worlds. No, it's not. It's 2 different worlds that are cool. Whatever. I'm tired. All right. So when Jens Restemeyer, after working on Diddy Kong Pilot, the original iteration of the game, he moved off and he started on another project, which is why he wasn't available to do the voxel stuff, I guess, or whatever reason. It's not important. But while this Diddy Kong Pilot... Sorry, I'm going to start that sentence again. Jens Restemeyer, a programmer at Rare, working primarily on the handheld team, worked on Diddy Kong Pilot. After the prototype was shelved, he came on to a new project, and that project was a revamping of Battletoads. Battletoads, of course, had not seen an entry since that's what I'm looking for, since the arcade game, which was in 90 something. It was in the 90s, the mid 90s or something. So they were like, hey, let's bring that back for the modern era. And one of the ideas was they would do a Game Boy Advance version and an Xbox version. I guess neither project got very far, but we do have a prototype that was dumped and leaked or whatever by Rareware Central again from 2004. This is one that Jens went on to work on. And he has some really good anecdotes again on the Rareware Central page for this about what they did during development. How management was split on whether it would be a remake of the NES game or its own thing. How the designers couldn't agree on what the Toads would look like, and they finally settled on like this sort of realistic frog in casual clothes look, which is very strange but interesting. And some other aspects which we'll get to as we progress. Now, I think I paused it. Yeah, there we go. So here's the game. As you can see, we actually move very fast, and it has that kind of very distinctive, rare GBA handheld team look to it. This kind of cartoony, bright-colored, pre-rendered-ish style, which you see in the Donkey Kong Country ports, you see it in Banjo, you see it in Saberman, you see it in Saberwolf GBA, but yeah, it's interesting how this is kind of a really quite radical reinterpretation of the Battletoads world that's quite different from, of course, what Delilah put out very recently, but equally distinct from the original series, which is a sprawling series. I gotta tell you, there's so many Battletoads games on the NES, on the Game Boy. There were Sega ports. There's Ragnarok's World, which Battletoads on the Game Boy is an original game, but Ragnarok's World on the Game Boy is like a port of the NES game. It's bizarre, stupidly named, but anyway, you get Battle Maniacs on the SNES and the Master System. Hint, hint, I might be looking at that in a future stream. You get Battletoads versus Double Dragons, which has never been... Okay, I don't know if that's supposed to be happening. Let me just rewind a bit and see if I can not get that to happen. But I've started sliding instead of walking. I'll see if I can pass this bit a different way to not have that happen. Okay, no, I'm sliding. Oh god. So I think this is where a boss is supposed to happen, but it hasn't spawned properly. Given saying, oh, this is weird, but I kind of like it. Did I mention all? Yeah, so Double Dragon crossover. I'm just going to pause that again because that is really obnoxious. There's debug features. Sorry. Okay, so Double Dragon, the final Battletoads game to mention is the arcade game. Super Battletoads, 2 and 3 player versions. Bit of crude humor in there, but all beat 'em up stuff. Anyway, this is Battletoads GBA. It has 8 levels. A lot of them aren't implemented. It's very early in development, I guess. Not all the mechanics are there and stuff, but you can... Yes, okay. You can get to a debug mode to see the different levels. This was level 1. I guess the boss doesn't work. I'm holding select and pressing R, and that teleports me straight... Hang on a second. Listen closely. Okay, well, I fell out of the world. That's cool. But that sound when this toad, who I guess is Rash, because Rash is kind of the main toad, but he's not wearing sunglasses. I'm going to say it's Zitz. When he jumps, that's definitely Banjo's jumping noise. Am I wrong? Yeah. I expect it to be followed with or like from the feathery flap. Anyway, yeah, we're reusing some assets here, clearly. All right, well, I'm out of bounds, so I'll just load back into the level and play through it a bit more normally. Like I said, it's not a finished game, but hey, I before doing this research, I thought it was only 1 level, so I was pleased to find that you could use debug mode to get to 7 other levels. The toad is really able to jump very high. Oh, actually, yeah, this is like the NES game. You start in like a belt-scrolling beat-em-up where you can move up and down on the screen, and then you move into a side-scrolling platformer in an ice world. So yeah, this is just one of those things. Oh look, my drop shadow appeared above me. What is this, Mega Man 11? Anyway, Frozen Dragon in the background. Very interesting. Yeah, I guess this is a thing that tells you that partly they were making a NES remake because it's following so far the progression of the NES game, and I think the next level or one of the upcoming levels is a complete remake of a level in the NES game. Now, Saberman is back, baby! I'm taking a screenshot of this. I'm gonna post it on Instagram. Just kidding, I don't have one. What the heck? Saberman is just popping up everywhere today, and I couldn't be happier. Oh my gosh. I don't believe this. I really wish this game got completed now because we'd have another Saberman universe game. I love this. Oh, frozen in ice just like in Banjo-Tooie. Does that mean we're in Hailfire Peak's ice side right now? Oh my gosh, maybe he just went somewhere else and got frozen again. So obviously falling is a little bit buggy, like in Donkey Kong Land, but just causes some graphical errors instead of killing us. Clearly there was going to be a moving platform or something here, because I could just walk on the spikes. This level's pretty big actually, but there haven't been any enemies or hazards implemented, and it's very easy to fall out of bounds. Oh well. Am I going in circles? There's that dragon again. Different place this time. Better look at the spikes. Okay, probably approaching the end here. Nope, a bit more. This really is big. I wonder if there's going to be a version of Klinger Winger in this. Oops. Okay, I went out of bounds again and again. Oh, you got to be careful in this game. Can't believe I found Saberman twice in 2 different prototypes. But again, you know, a lot of them share the same teams. A few years before this, they were inserting the Rare Cow into a lot of different things. You know, first appearing in, I think, Mickey's Speedway USA on the Game Boy Color, or Mickey's Racing Adventure, I don't remember which. But it popped up in Perfect Dark, Donkey Kong Country on the Game Boy Color. Huh. Also, this background music is a little bit DKC-ish, isn't it? Where else did the Rare Cow show up? Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge in Spiller's Harbor Sandcastle. What else? Perfect Dark. Did I say that? I did. Yes. Brain, thank you. What else? Go look up the top 5 list on that rare fan site I don't remember the name of. I put in the comments that there's another rare cow in Saber Wolf GBA in the form of a costume that a character wears. Oh, that's cool. So I think this might be the remake of the NES level. The graphics look a little bit pixelated, don't they? I don't know if the Toads have more of a moveset than that, but apparently it's pretty limited. Yeah, look! We're actually getting sprites in the background. It's a direct lift. That's really interesting as a kind of reference. And then juxtaposing the new designs of these enemy characters against the original ones. That would be pretty cool if this was actually in a game in this style, eh? Yeah. Gibbon says, I wonder if... Oh, I did a flying kick somehow. Okay, I just have to do the inputs right, I guess. Or kick while running? I don't know. It doesn't always go off, but obviously this enemy is not working properly. Oh, I fell down and died. It's easy to fall off screen on this one. Oh, a bar. Can I pick it up? Also, new dragon enemy. I can't pick up the bar, apparently. I should try my other buttons. I have a block. L is block. Oh, look, it's the original Toad. And even UI drawn on the background. Gosh, what is this? This is... Okay, this is really interesting, given a game that I'm planning to play in a few weeks' time, where someone essentially made a game where the premise is, what if you were trying to traverse a glitched version of the Battletoads pause screen? Okay, keep that in mind for future streams, but this is fascinating. Anyway, here's the boss character who's been harassing us through the stage, but now we get to fight it, except I guess the fight's not properly implemented. Although I will point out again, very nice, smooth animation on this enemy character. And this... The Toad bugging out at the enemy, as you see in Battletoads, a similar trope you can see in Donkey Kong Country games. Oh, Gibbon says, I wonder if Carnath is in this. Well, I was going to say there's not many enemies implemented, but there's this guy at least, so we might see Carnath. Remind me, Carnath is the snake, right? Whoa, golly. Okay, so I've just ported into the next stage and immediately been swooped by a dragon. What was I going to say? So one of the cool features of the original Battletoads on NES is, the boss fight on stage 1, where you view the fight through, it's like a second person view, because you're looking through the boss view screen at your character and you're controlling from that perspective. It's really fascinating. And I actually saw something similar recently in, it was... X-Men Origins Wolverine on the Wii, and the PSP has a similar version as well, but not for an extended period, where you're looking through Agent Zero or Nord's view scope on his sniper rifle while Logan runs around to approach him, or yeah, you never end up getting to him in that phase, but yeah, it reminded me of that. Anyway, this obviously is a very early level. There's no graphics implemented, and just that dragon. Just some geometry, which also is a little bit buggy. So next stage. Okay. What? The pig is throwing pig heads at me? That's weird. This kind of reminds me of the Neckies in Donkey Kong Country, spitting nuts at you. You have to get around it. Okay, so there is an air attack. Oh, okay, I made it up here. But these do not have collision. They are not implemented. Yes, Gibbon confirming for me that Carnath is the snake. I think you fight it in Super Battletoads. I'm not sure which other games it appears in. Oh, okay, there's not much to this level either, but... worth noting, the background here is directly reused from Donkey Kong Country 2 on the Game Boy Advance, the ship hold stages. You can see the beams and the rafters and such. So that's another... element of reused assets for an early version of a game, like they've taken the Banjo voice clip for the jumping, because they didn't get too far on this one apparently. So next stage. Okay. Whoa, what? Okay. You know, I read there was snakes in this game. Hold on. Well, we're not there yet. Okay, this is a very small level. Not much to see here. Let's move on. Oh, okay, another early graphics. Oh, yep, okay. So much like the ice level, I've managed to go out of bounds immediately. But we'll go normally here. Traverse what we can. This was my favorite level in the original Battletoads, the untextured white plains. Whoops. Oh. What? Okay, that's it. That's all we can see in this one. So, moving on. Ooh, sorry. Okay, it was a bit buggy when I was in midair, but this is reused assets from Diddy Kong Pilot. So Jens Restmeyer taking from his own project there. For all I know, he worked on DKC2 GBA. I'm not sure. Didn't look it up. Anyway, yeah, this is, we can see the Mode 7 backdrop for one of the racing stages, but we're just moving freely around on it. The plan for the Turbo Tunnel equivalent in this iteration of Battletoads would have been a Mode 7 style racing stage, apparently. And this was the very, you know, earliest, implementation of that, or beginnings of. So that's just, yep, not much more to see, I guess, but yeah, more Diddy Kong Pilot content, very directly following up on it, which was fun to me, having played them both. So yeah, we've cycled through them all, gone back to the first stage, and I notice now that this is the only stage with music and sound effects and stuff, or music at least, and like properly implemented score system and all that stuff, events happening, things like that. So that's cool. The rest of the levels are just some basic test geometry stuff. Skeleton. Is that something from Battletoads given? I gotta say I'm not that familiar with the series, unfortunately. But I will be playing at least 2 more Battletoads adjacent things in the coming weeks. This was my like GBA prototypes stream, and I gotta say, for the condition my mind is in, I think it went pretty well. Lovely background, by the way, with those planets, moons, or whatever. All right. So that's it. Given says, I don't know. Also, not too familiar with the series. Well, yeah, I know the reason you were asking about Karnath is because Karnath in the Battletoads games is actually a back reference to the Staff of Karnath, one of Ultimate Play the Game's earlier games. I think it was one of the outsourced ones, starring Arthur Pendragon, which, from memory, were primarily on the C64. They might have got ports as well. I don't remember the names of the guys who made those ones for Ultimate. But I'm doing a quick look now. Okay. Nope. Hold on a sec. What? Because I thought there was a snake bit in here. I'm just going to look at the cutting room floor article on this prototype to see if I'm missing anything or how to access it. Battletoads Game Boy Advance. Doesn't have a proper title screen, they say. Okay, so the first stage, Ragnarok Zero. The enemies resemble Psycho Pigs from the NES game, and a few enemies that resemble walkers. The second most complete stage, Stage 2, the Ice Cavern, is a replica of the 4th level of the original NES game. So I was wrong about the exact order of them, but yeah. And the stage after that, which has the pixelated graphics, is a replica of the stage. And yeah, like I said, interestingly, even... Okay. Okay, so according to Cutting Room Floor, the stage with the 8-bit level graphics seems to have been hastily assembled from NES emulator screenshots and has a number of sprite graphics embedded in it. So it might have just have been scratch graphics put into a test stage where they hadn't yet made final graphics for it. So that's an alternate theory there. But I still think that it would have been weird and interesting to have that juxtaposition of these like pre-rendered sprites on top of that, the old school style environment. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. Test 0. An early version of Ragnarok 0 has a near identical layout. Test stage. Yep, another test stage. And then that thing. Oh, I don't know what that snake thing is I was talking about. Never mind. I think I was actually thinking of a different game. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Sorry. That's... I put that wrong. Gibbon. The Arthur Pendragon games were not outsourced per se. They actually hired those two guys. They just weren't part of the quote-unquote main team. Yeah. At that time, like, I think of the Stampers and, the other guy, John something, as, like, the core Ultimate Team, and anyone else is sort of, you know, a little bit like outsiders. But I guess they weren't. They were just sub-teams that were employed by the company. So, yeah, you're right. Oh, God. Since we're winding down here, I might as well look up their names. Can't leave that hanging. Staff of Karnath. Don't you know? Staff of Karnath is an action-adventure video game developed and published by Ultimate Play the Game for the Commodore 64 originally in 1984. Yes, so I was right about that. Commodore 64. Dave and Bob Thomas. The first game to be released by Ultimate without founders Tim and Chris Stamper's direct involvement. Interesting stuff. So yeah, they were definitely part of Ultimate, but they weren't the Stampers, who up until that point, the Stampers were Ultimate Play the Game, you know what I mean? Or Ashby Computers and Graphics. Anyway, we'll be talking more about Ashby Computers and Graphics in a future stream as well. More teasers all over the place. Okay, so that's it. I'm done. Thanks for joining me on this little journey. And I'm very indebted to Rareware Central for leaking these prototypes because they're so fascinating. And I found Saberman in 2 of them, which makes me really happy. But yeah, they're all available on Cutting Room Floor, Hidden Palace. You can find them in the Rareware Central archive thing. So yeah, links below, etc. Thanks for joining me, and look forward to more Rare games next week. I'm not sure what I'll be doing exactly, but it'll either be ports or fan games or flash games. These are the kinds of things I have planned for the next few streams. So the Rare train is not stopping. It continues. And I hope you'll be on board. Woo woo. Chugga chugga chugga. Anyway, thanks a lot. I hope you're doing well. And get plenty of sleep because it's important to your health, you know. Okay, bye-bye now.